Hello and welcome to this health webinar. My name is Nathan Stringer. I'm an account manager with FF based in our New York office. There's a space in the webinar controls for anyone to type in questions as we go along. Only I'll be able to read them, so don't be shy. I'll answer them at the end. Today we're going to be looking at the consumer's changing behavior in relation to their personal health, plus the impact this is having on health services and brands. Consumers are more aware than ever of the cost of indulgence to their health, finances, and appearance, and technology is altering their expectations and demands of not only their healthcare providers, but also brands in the health and wellness sector. We're going to be discussing several trends that will break down into three essentially chronological sections: what changes are and have been taking place to the pursuit of healthy living, how are people responding and traveling down the path to wellness, and what lies on the horizon. First, however, we need to look at the two trends that help lay some context for our discussion. First is cruise control. Consumers are striving to achieve meticulous control of all aspects of their multifarious lives as they try to have it all: the successful career, the perfect fitness regime, the happy family. This dominant narrative of control grows with popular awareness of the risks associated with overindulgence, financial short-sightedness, and any personal, habitual decision with measurable downsides. The ideal is to have the tricky specifics worked out automatically, to set it and forget it. It's not just about being in control, however. With about 2/3 of Americans trying to appear in control at all times, and even more young people feeling this way, it's also about being visibly in control. Big data is a major contributor here, allowing consumers to identify and eliminate inefficiencies in their everyday routines, making use of the information gathered by various tracking devices in order to make quantifiable, personalized improvements. Tech assists consumers in meeting their own health and nutritional goals, as well as their goals for their children. One example of a company helping people gain more control is Q. Q is a domestic health monitoring device that allows consumers to perform molecular level tracking of 5 indicators: inflammation, influenza, fertility, vitamin D, and testosterone. This goes a step beyond devices that can track only pace, heart rate, weight, etc. The accompanying app can be connected via Bluetooth and provides lifestyle suggestions to the user based on this information. This means that people can now keep daily track of measurements that used to be available only from health professionals on an annual basis. Second trend to set context here is a trend that we've been tracking for a number of years. It's called Society of Sobriety. It underlies consumer behaviors across sectors and has been impacting the consumer landscape for a long time. It's shaping and influencing how consumers are approaching their health today. Invitations to consumer citizens to live highly moderated lives are becoming ever more insistent. Health risks are no longer the subject of debate. Poor lifestyle choices are now perceived to present multiple risks to the individual, to one's overall well-being, of course, but also to one's wallet, physical appearance, and social reputation. As the costs associated with lifestyle-related ill health rise, over 20% of the U.S. federal budget, about $1.3 trillion, is now devoted to healthcare. Regulatory initiatives target unhealthy options and underscore personal responsibility in health matters, like Philadelphia's recent ban on sugary drinks. Moderation is becoming a norm with mass appeal, and one which expresses itself through constant management of everything conceivably health-related, from diet to exercise, rest to relaxation. We've seen the Society of Sobriety growing through the tens, and even when we look at specific behaviors over the past 2 years, eating in moderation, exercising regularly, taking vitamins and supplements, we see a definitive increase. The ages most responsive are people aged 25 to 44, those consumers who are settling into patterns of adulthood and family life. And to help consumers form healthy lifestyle patterns, there are apps like Rise. Rise is designed for weight loss, connects users to registered dietitians, the idea being that There's no one-size-fits-all solution to weight loss. Through the app, users are paired with a personal coach whom they message directly to help them reach specific goals. They can share the number of steps they take each day, snap photos of what they eat, and log their weight for the coach to track and to evaluate. Cruise control and society of sobriety are the trends underlying and shaping the consumer health landscape. So now let's look at how consumers today are pursuing healthy living. The first trend we'll look at is the indulgence equation. The impacts of indulgence on the individual are now all too easy to discover, and this places intense pressure on indulgent behavior of all kinds. Indulgence then becomes embedded in the vocabulary of balanced living rather than pure excess or complete self-denial. So we can indulge, and we will, so long as we balance out our indulgences. Offsetting is a way to achieve balance. It's a way we think about not only our diet or our fitness, but also our finances. We don't go shopping so as to splurge on a vacation, or with media consumption, we won't watch TV today so we can binge watch Netflix on the weekend. The indulgence equation is everywhere. It works forwards and backwards. We may reward ourselves for little accomplishments that took energy and exertion, or make up for past transgressions by, for instance, adding an extra exercise to our gym routines. More and more people are understanding the importance of balance and allowing themselves to indulge in certain luxuries occasionally. As these stats show, 41% of millennials balance healthy eating during the week with less healthy eating at the weekend. 1/3 of Gen Xers say they do the same. It's important for brands to understand the need for balance and to move away from a guilt narrative. Brands can help consumers reach their goals and satisfy their desires. One trend spotter we have put this quite well. It said, while people are encouraged to treat themselves, and while they very often do, it's never seen as gluttony or even indulgence. Rather, it's seen as an important part of life. We also see examples of healthy indulgence where vices are hacked to become healthier. Olefin, I believe it's pronounced, Olefin launched a line of chocolates and muesli bars designed to make balanced eating easier. Olefin utilizes the newly found benefits of the powerful antioxidants in olive oil. It claims to offer the benefits of the Mediterranean diet in easy-to-consume products that consumers can carry throughout their day. And the benefits of the Mediterranean diet are claimed to be more than just physical. And the second way people are now pursuing healthy living is by mastering the mind. Personal health is acquiring a holistic definition that recognizes the importance of both physical and mental well-being. Indeed, inner well-being has become a new priority for health-aware consumers and many public and private healthcare providers, for whom the mind is a muscle, and muscles ought to be proactively honed, rested, and cared for. Mindfulness techniques and other forms of exercise that emphasize their mental and spiritual benefits are in the ascendant. In just the past year, we've seen a significant increase in people practicing mindfulness, up more than 10% among millennials. Against a backdrop of widely felt time pressure, stress, and competitive professional lives, mastering the mind becomes an essential life skill to nurture. A future beckons in which tools and offers that strengthen mental power and alleviate cognitive strain are delivered by technological, healthcare, and commercial partners of all kinds. Inner balance will be as eagerly sought after as perfect physical appearances today. Exploration into our complex emotional states will inevitably strengthen in the coming years. Next generation wearable devices promise to log our real-time moods alongside our physical activity in an effort to optimize both. For example, Feel is a wearable bracelet that senses and registers a range of body metrics, skin temperature, pulse, sweating, and it measures the user's moods. Based on this data, it can alert users about their emotional state via vibrations, like notifying them that they're particularly stressed, and then it provides mindfulness and breathing exercises. Additionally, a companion app analyzes user data more over the long term to give recommendations for lifestyle changes that will improve the user's mood. There are also products that engage in mind hacking to control consumption. The right cup is a reusable plastic cup that infuses scents and flavors into plain drinking water, tricking the brain into believing the water is flavored. By deceiving the brain's sense of smell and taste, the right cup will, hopefully, increase people's consumption of water and reduce their consumption of calorific, sugary drinks. So it helps optimize the body by mastering the mind. Our next section looks at consumers' efforts in bettering themselves, how they are traveling the path to wellness. We see two trends working here. First is the everyday athlete. People are upgrading their downtime into productive steps of self-improvement and degrees of fitness activity. They are professionalizing their hobbies. In a world where being fit is admired and having the ideal body even more so, the everyday athlete will spend considerable time and energy in pursuit of looking and feeling good. Exercise in America is huge in both theory and practice. Almost half of the population plays sports or takes part in physical activity multiple times a week, and 64% of Americans say that people need to exercise at least 3 times a week to stay healthy. Even in moments throughout the day, smartphones and wearables prompt consumers with suggestions like, take the stairs and stand up, you've been sitting for too long. So with all this activity, it's important that there are products that can keep up with people, that appeal to the everyday athlete. For example, women's cosmetics. Sweat cosmetics are designed for the active female, providing beauty products and sun protection that last even when the wearer is sweating. The brand claims to be the most athletically proven cosmetic brand and uses natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant ingredients such as vitamin E and milk thistle. Sweat's foundations also provide UV protection and are water resistant for up to 80 minutes. Another trend that affects how people are working towards wellness is challenge accepted, by which we mean the gamification of life and daily habits. Be it practicing mindfulness, budgeting, sleeping, eating, exercising, anything can be gamified. Gamification serves as an outlet for consumers to fit in their goals to their hectic schedules and get rewarded for their progress. Gamification takes what might otherwise feel like a struggle and incentivizes it by making it fun. Facilitated by tracking apps, wearables, and more, consumers can turn the fresh information they have about themselves and their habits into something meaningful. New structures of motivation and reward are appearing that exploit personal data, aiding consumers in their attempts to achieve their goals. Key here is the fun factor, as dull tasks are transformed into opportunities to triumph. Rewards such as points or simply the opportunity to share one's personal success online for all to see and feel jealous of are counterbalanced by the threat of punishment for failure. There's both carrot and stick. Typically, millennials are more likely both to game and to use apps to run their lives. 68% of millennials are interested in an app that would send them an exercise challenge to complete every week. 1 in 4 are very interested. So this group will be most attracted to the gamification proposition, but it's possible to apply gamification more widely. And brands are already capitalizing on ways to incentivize and gamify healthy activities for people of all ages. Beam is an Ohio-based startup that aims to provide more affordable dental insurance to patients who take preventative oral care seriously. Customers receive a preventative dental care kit, which includes a smart electronic toothbrush, toothpaste, and floss, and they're connected to the Beam Brush app, which allows patients, their employers, and their dentists to monitor brushing habits. Patients who perform well are rewarded with a star card that allows them to exchange their collected stars for replacement brush heads or cash back on the insurance plan. Beam customers also benefit from up to 50% discount with partnering dentists. So we've seen what changes are and have been taking place to the pursuit of healthy living, and we've looked at how people are traveling the path to wellness. But what is next? The one trend we want to highlight for what's on the horizon is beyond human, and it is on the horizon. We anticipate the future of technology combining and physically enhancing our bodies, like cybernetics. This isn't a present reality. Much stands between us and a truly cybernetic existence, not least ethical and moral detractors, as well as all-important legal and scientific hurdles. But early consumer support for hypothetical innovation suggests many would welcome the opportunity, and we already witness limited forms of body hacking. Today's brands can embrace and espouse transhuman ideals, the belief that the human body can forever be upgraded and experiences forever enhanced. Consumers' expectations of their personal health and well-being goals will inevitably rise in a world in which cognitive and physical augmentation procedures are readily available. They're affordable, they're socially acceptable. In the more distant future, it's conceivable that convenient technological solutions to bodily imperfections and underperformance, even in healthy bodies, are regularly installed and enjoyed. There's desire for technology to enhance even the human administration of healthcare. AI, like IBM's Watson, has not quite caught up to the intelligence of doctors. Consumers will soon be able to have their DNA analyzed to receive the most personalized health advice. Many consumers are still skeptical about the idea of technology having that much power, but 38% of males and females are interested in having access to such a service. There are also non-essential human upgrades on the horizon. When we ask consumers if they would be interested in having, say, contact lenses that could see in the dark, only 18% of the total population said they would be interested in testing it out. Very interested. However, the percentage rises to a third of millennials, and millennials are the future primary consumers of health services. If contact lenses can see in the dark, why not contact lens cameras? Sony filed a patent in April of this year for an electronic contact lens that could be configured to capture an image of what the user is seeing. According to the patent, the lens would distinguish between a wearer's unconscious and conscious blinking. So a conscious blink could be followed by an image capture. The contact lens could be activated by a connected external device such as a smartphone. While it's likely that this product will take several years to enter the marketplace, we expect consumer interest in such products to heighten as wearable technology becomes more prevalent in everyday life. Other examples of the beyond human trend are permanent alterations, like deep brain memory enhancement via an implant in the hippocampus. Now, in the future then, elephants won't be the only ones who never forget. And if you don't want to forget this webinar, don't fret. It's been recorded. We'll upload it and send everyone the link. A PDF of the slides and notes will also be available. Thank you for your time. I won't be offended if you need to leave now, but I'll be responding to questions you have asked. Feel free to type more in now. One question here is about connection of other sectors to these health and well-being trends. What other sectors are most implicated? We talked about a few brands, consumer tech devices, but food and drink is connected here, as you might expect. So with mastering the mind, we saw the right cup tricking the brain, but we also see the rise of superfoods being hacked and to provide more nutrients than they normally would. I also did a food webinar that touched on that a little bit. You can check that out if you're interested. There's also a question here about how far gamification can go. Is the future that everyone is going to be having apps out all the time and every part of their life is points-based? Obviously not. There's not going to be complete saturation, gamification of behavior, but I do think we'll see much more of that tied to healthcare providers, like that Beam example. As preventative healthcare is more emphasized going in the future, gamification is a natural link to that, and that appeals to millennials, but it also appeals to Gen Z as they age. back to that Beam app example, the sort of star card thing is mocked up in like an arcade game format in people's phones, and it's specifically targeted at Gen Z. So I think in the future, you'll see more gamification. With regards to healthcare, I think healthcare providers will incentivize people to take care of themselves. I don't see any other questions at this time, so I'm going to wrap this up. Again, thank you for listening, and we'll send you a recording and PDF if you so desire. Share it widely. Thank you very much.